Hello and good afternoon. This is your Derpo speaking, and now we are back on live for the Mapping 101 Thursdays. And this is your Derpo speaking, and now, as you can see, there's something new here wherein you shouldn't miss this. Especially when it comes to some sort of map paint styles that we are about to disclose. We're using the JOSM default, which is the map CSS, and also the admin boundaries, and even the damage assessment bench, and even the colorized bicycle routes, and also destination sign relation, and also direction for traffic signs, and even the hazmat, greenery details, forest, and even the enhanced lane and road attributes. But here's the limitation when it comes to enhanced lane and road attributes, wherein you have to turn this off if you're not going to check it out. And then we have the HDPI support here. And of course, we have lane and road attributes, the regular one, which has the same behavior as if we are recently showing it to you. And we have the layer checker as well. And of course, we have disclosed this water pipeline that we have previously mapped, and the leak as well. And also we have map nick, but we have some sort of limitations here. It has to be turned off if we're not going to use. And also we have mapping accessibility, in which we could determine if it's accessible or not, and even the maximum speed, which is shaded in a color. And also we have a mountains that would be shown also. And we have new parking features, parking lanes, and of course we have public transportation stops, and public transport version 2 as well. Recycling materials, and even schools and sidewalks. Speed limit as well. And also streets that has no name. Station names on subway entrances as well. And then the various traffic signages. And also we have wheelchair routing attributes as well. And let's say we have also the indoor attributes, but we have to turn it off ever since that there is a tendency of a bug of any sort that yet to be fixed. And by the way, as we have promised, we have fixed already most of the missing features, like this one, which is the vacant lot. and also the green field that is still standing, and this one is technically a commercial complex as well. We are yet to be sure of when this would be finalized. And then of course we have disconnected the roadway that is previously connected as a temporary access road to a certain subdivision. But however, if we're going to analyze something, say we have some sort of missing infrastructures, we have mapped already this depot, which is composed of the trucks and even heavy equipment as well. And we might came across to some sort of recalibration that is needed here. And of course, due to complaints that we have received in relation to the internal policies of our own, which is the no left and U-turns policy that got into conflict with several stakeholders, we have decided to suspend the no left turn portion of the no left and U-turns policy that is still being in the works until the final resolution has been reached concerning the local government unit, specifically the city government of Dasmariñas, as we have raised the concern of banning such left turns and even jaywalking as well, due to the numerous incidents that would impede even the southbound traffic, that instead of making it as a pass-through lane on the rightmost lane near the sidewalk, of course, illegal loading and unloading could be a key contributor of this disaster as well. Right now, the city government of Dasmariñas have acknowledged that there is still a further study with regards to the case of Villa Verde Junction issue that we have tried to resolve. And so with such no left and U-turns issue that we have identified, like this one that is being close to the Palapalad Junction or the signalized junction, of course, we don't want any sort of a head-on accidents and even impeding such traffic flow as well. And with that statement that have been released last 2022, the city government of Dasmariñas have ultimately banned the left turns coming from Idesha Boulevard heading towards the Highway 419. And so, this is our primary goal, to ensure that it is conformed into legality, and hence this invisible line will serve as a painted median as well. So, It is considered illegal to make any crossing towards McDonald's, and instead you have to make any alternate routing that would allow you to turn back as well. But for this case, in this kid's world, we have identified the exit already that spans into almost 100 or 200 meters towards the junction, or the exit rather. Hence, the right lane must turn right policy is strictly enforced. Such violations would result into huge penalties, including but not limited to disobeying traffic signages, and also, since we are at the right lane must turn right policy, we have to enforce the no stopping, no loading, and unloading policy in a bid to keep the traffic flow smooth. And also, we have some sort of a missing surface that needs to be corrected as well. And likewise, this one has to be corrected. It must be written as all traffic must exit or turn right, in order to avoid such confusion. And therefore, we have some sort of mapping activity that we need. Especially, we have a provincial P2P bus that got operational. Special thanks to RMB Bicol Express Transport System for giving us some sort of information that we need, particularly when it comes to buses and other related transportation as well. And as such, we have to fix this one because right upon our investigation, the format for the provincial P2P bus is a perpendicular instead of a parallel. Hence, it creates unnecessary offset to this. So we have a right side bus bay. And say, of course, we have to be more careful in mapping all of this. Likewise, we might designate this node as an arrival point and don't you worry, because the node for the fill cab is still there. This one is still protected by this, by the railings here. But we have a missing railings that needs to be added. And that's pretty simple. If you're going to use the JOSM, you have to draw node by pressing the alpha key or A, and then we have to exact the railing location, and then of course some of you might not be familiar with this tagging, like as we are showing it to you on the right side of your screen. Of course, we have a fence, a railing, and 1.5 as the values. But for this reason, we might have to type this manually for demonstration purposes. That is barrier, fence, and also the fence type should be a railing as we are speaking here. And the height should not be more than 1.5 meters. Let's remember that here in the Philippines, we are strictly enforcing the metric system, as we are also using in the field of engineering. And for detailed sharing, let me resize this for you. The material is currently at the metal. And of course, don't forget to validate it first and then upload if you're done. Alternatively, you can save it on your computer as well if your system supports it. Then of course we have to check out the disused routing that we are about to exact on. But this would take much longer of a time, so we might have to do it on another episode. Especially, you know, yours truly is pursuing board's review. And that concludes this episode as well, as we are checking on this depot that this should not have any problems here. And of course, we are still verifying this feature if it's indeed a part of a subdivision or an excluded area. But of course, there are some sort of inconsistencies here that we need to investigate further. That would take some time. And what we are being thinking about is this. With some sort of routing and even, you know, some sort of diversions that needed to undertake. Of course, we have to take more time for such reviews. And let's see if this would go into some sort of, you know, review of this area that needs to be reviewed as well on the next episode. And so that concludes this Mapping 101 Thursdays. Be safe, be well, stay sane, and try and your love. Have a safe and blessed Thursday or rainy Thursday to all.